Hi everyone, and thanks for joining me for the full moon in Aquarius. It's occurring on August 3rd, 11:59 a.m. Eastern Time. Of course, times are going to vary. So this is the chart, and there's a lot going on. First thing that grabs me, and if you don't know this, if you haven't seen my charts, my readings before, I do use a lot of intuition. So again, if you're a really by the book astrologer and you're like, that's not what the book says, then just, see ya. No sense in being angry, leaving angry comments. This might not be the forecast for you. However, if you enjoy that kind of thing, coloring outside the line, then maybe you'll enjoy this. And then secondly, if you're not into astrology at all and you're thinking, oh, I can't understand this, this looks like mumbo jumbo to me, hang in there, because as I go along, I use the astrology chart as a jumping off point, but it very much is an energy forecast and intuitive reading, okay? So it's not all about astrology. And the more, it seems like the more I go, the further I get into the reading, the more that comes through. Okay, so let's get started. What grabs me, and that's how I deal with this stuff. The full moon's here, so maybe I should, astrologers might be like, well, you should talk about the full moon first. This is what grabs me. We've got this huge lineup, well, not huge, but we've got a big lineup here going on with Aries. We've got Chiron, Mars, its ruler, direct. The part of fortune, which is interesting, and Lilith. All in the sign of Aries. And then of course it's all squaring up with this big Capricorn thing here. So, there's a lot of strife in the world right now. There's a lot of tension. There's a lot of buildup. There's a lot of anger. It's building. And I often say this when we're dealing with Capricorn and Aries. Of course, it's a square, which causes friction and, the things that I was just talking about. But if you look at the symbolism, Aries is a horned ram. The Capricorn is a sea goat, but the goat has the horned, it's these two horned creatures. And the guides are chiming in, they're joking with me, they're saying, yeah, a lot of people are going to be horny. Well, the Mars energy, that is a good way to discharge it, is through sexual activity. But back to my point, these two horned creatures come together, and what do? They lock horns, they butt heads, and there's a lot of it. And Saturn is in its own sign, Capricorn, so the Capricorn energy, Saturn energy, is very much in sync and empowered, as well as Mars being in its own sign of Aries, also amplifying that energy. There's a term for it, but it doesn't really matter. Just know that it's like really amplify. They're right at home. They're right in their lane. They're right in their wheelhouse. They know how to work with their own energy better than, when the planets travel through other signs' energy, there's like a collaboration or at its best, maybe a compromise, of working, the best of both. But when they're in their own sign, it's just like, okay, I'm at full steam ahead, I'm at full power, and I'm at full steam ahead, and I'm at full power. And both signs and energies, Aries, Mars, Mars and Saturn, however you want to look at it, they both have very much a want to be the boss. Can be bossy, can be controlling, can be aggressive. More the Aries can be aggressive, but the Saturn wants to control everything, the Capricorn. So it's interesting too to me that, okay, we've got the part of fortune here, but also then Jupiter's over here. So these are two big benefics, or, things that are considered good, basically, things that are considered good, beneficial. They're in there too on each side. The part of fortune in Aries, though, that's what grabbed me about the stellium here initially. Well, the Aries stellium grabbed me, but then I thought, well, look, the part of fortune is there. So with everything, there's always a way to use it for the positive or use it for the negative, okay? And with the part of fortune, it's like it's saying that the positive traits of the Aries Mars energy, used in a positive way, can bring about very fortunate events, can make things turn for the positive. So let's think, what are some positive Aries traits? Trailblazer, the new beginning. That's just the new beginning. Trailblazer, bravery, courage, standing up for what you believe in. First one out of the gate. Setting the precedence. because it's easy to go to war, and many things that we go to war over and we argue over, I feel like are just our old paradigm stuff. It's not the new, it's not the Aries. It's the old stuff. It's our old systems of belief. It's being stuck in our old systems of belief and not having an open mind and being willing to, you know, hear another side of the story. Admit that, you know, people don't want to admit that they're wrong. But right and wrong is just ever changing. You know, we're again in an expanding universe. And then that brings us kind of around to the full moon is in the sign of Aquarius. God, it's almost right on my natal Saturn. I didn't realize that. Anyways, it's coming up. Saturn return. I have this big thing about having my second Saturn return. It's like I'm officially old, but I'm trying to get over that. I'm trying to get over that and say, you know, I'm in my crone energy, and it's you know, it's good. But there's still that lurking. Wow, your second Saturn return. You're old. But anyways, I digress. So we're looking at the full moon in Aquarius. You know, and when I opened this chart, it says Aquarius. The title of it is like Aquarius or something. It's, yeah, 8A. Oh, but I saw Aquarius somewhere, and right away I had that song, This is the Dawning of the Age of Aquarius, which it is. But also we have Aquarius full moons once a year. It's not, I don't know why, but that song did come to mind. So, but that's the thing we could trailblaze. We could trailblaze the Aquarian, 11th house, you know, Uranian energy. You know, that's what we should trailblaze. And the most positive trait of that is, you know, being one for all and all for one. Advancement, not being stuck in the past, moving forward, being, you know, willing to expand our consciousness. Not only willing, excuse me one second here, not only willing to expand our consciousness, but eager to. Aries, you're eager to do the next thing. Well, the next thing could be expanding our consciousness, seeing things from a broader perspective, having a higher perspective on, you know, many things. Life, humanity, brotherhood, a man, you know, those kind of things. You know, that's those kind of things. Now we also got to bring in, though, we didn't finish this with this square. Now let's look at this Capricorn stuff here. You know, we've got, so what's the highest thing of Capricorn? Leadership. You know, since Pluto and Saturn, well, Pluto especially has been in Capricorn, this leadership thing has been coming up a lot. A lot of people are getting involved in that. It's like a skill set that people are developing. And that's how, you know, Aries charges right in, but then they like hand it off the ball to somebody else or even drop the ball. So the trailblazing, the leeway that we can be made using the Aries energy in a positive way, the leeway that can be made, then this energy can come in. And this energy again being the, you know, the leadership, building of new structures, building of new paradigms, you know, because it can't all be in just ideas. You know, that's where the Capricorn energy comes in. We're going to build it. We're going to build it. We're going to reinforce it. We're going to make it strong. We're going to give it bones. We're going to make it a real thing planted in this 3D reality. So they can work together. And, you know, another thing is that squares make things happen. Squares are frowned upon or feared. Oh no, it's a square. It's right away bad. You know, there's always a positive and negative with the signs and the energies expressed through these signs, the planetary energies. And there's always a positive and a negative. And with the houses where they fall, there's always a positive and negative. And also with the aspects themselves. So square is not necessarily a bad thing. Square is, you know, a square. It's going to make things happen. If you have a beautiful grand trine, you might just be, oh, it's such a beautiful day. I'm just going to lay at the beach and forget about everything, you know. But squares like force into act. Squares create friction action, okay. I want to look at these notes because I was talking about the great benefics. So we've got Jupiter, and then we've got the part of fortune, and of course the third one is Venus. And Venus is conjunct the North Node during this time, this flash of energy, this snapshot of the energy. So that's good. Again, that's leading us to Venus, you know. And Gemini is very much a card of partnerships, you know. Even though it rules the third house, I always think of Gemini as partnership because it's the twins. It's the two people, and they even have like the symbol of it. It's like there's two people. I always feel like Gemini, there's the duality of these two people, and it's cooperation and friendships I think of as third house. And Venus is in there conjunct the North Node. So there's a way to go here. And this stuff is sextiling. This part of Fortune and Mars and everything, and Lilith, it's sextiling. So also harmonious aspect. So harmony can be found. It's actually not quite trining the full moon, but yeah, harmony can be found. The direction we're meant to go in is, again, let's look at the positive traits of a Gemini. Brilliant, eloquence. Geminis can express their thoughts clearly. You know, they're very eloquent. They can, you know, they're wordsmiths. That's their biggest, you know, the biggest of Mercury and Gemini. This is a wordsmith. This is somebody. This is the energy of communication. This is the energy of clear communication towards the way, working towards the North Node, which is always the way that we're meant to go. And the North Node is from a higher level. And like when I do those soul readings, this is one of the main things I will look at is your nodes. I tune into it for you and pick up stuff. But this is what we're striving for. And as the nodes transit, as they are now, you know, they're always transiting, but you know, where the nodes are, even if it's not on your node or doesn't involve your natal node in any way, just where it's at in the sky, it's connected to all of us every time. As a collective, we are meant to focus on the Gemini Mercury vibration, and Venus is bringing it along. So communication could really be happening. You know, if there has been a square off, if there has been anger, if there has been tension in the world at large with your people on social media, or even just in your, you know, your closer circle of friends, there can be, you know, words. When I'm hearing that, it's in the American Pie, something about words were spoken. I can't remember if I cry when I can't hear. I'm losing it, but it's something about something words were spoken, and it's from the song American Pie. I'm not going to look it up right now. If anybody wants to look it up, because many times there are messages in the song lyrics. Isn't it soft words were spoken? And the lyrics often do contain messages. So if you want to, if somebody wants to do, you know, look it up and put it in the comments. Don't put a link to a video or something, because what happens is when you put a link in the comments, YouTube already just marks it as spam. And I can manually go in and check that, but I don't do it very often. So it's not going to show up probably. So if you want to do it, copy the whole set of lyrics and just paste those in the comments. And maybe we could all look at it later. But yeah, soft words were spoken, or kind words are spoken. That's what I'm hearing. Making amends is really strong. And it's just so funny. Look at this. Because there's this line here, because that's where it's actually at. But it looks like to me, this is where the psychic stuff comes in, really strict astrologer people. So, but I'm seeing this, you know, like she's walking over to say, to join the North Node happily. Like, let's work together. Let's, you know, it's joyous. It's love-based. It feels like, you know, friendships reuniting, people coming back together. Finding common ground is what I'm hearing. You know, finding our common ground. Finding a way to work together. Remembering in your mind, because when you get caught in this shit, this is your mind working. It's working overtime. Here comes the music. That's taking care of business and working overtime. Yeah, that's what your mind is doing. And Gemini rules the mind. So it's real nice to have Venus come through with this mind thing, you know. The Venus comes through and makes it more amicable, brings in a different vibe to just the squirrel running on the wheel with the mind just going crazy and trying to keep up, you know, think of another snappy comeback to counter argue with somebody here. It's also squaring up with this Neptune, though. And Neptune, we were just talking about being in your own sign and being in power. The Neptune is, in Pisces, in its own sign. But squaring with this, too. So again, we're tying it into things from the past. A lot of times when there is anger and there is conflict, a lot of times that is, I don't know if you can hear that. Somebody's doing something out there with some kind of a power tool, but it's a little distracting, but hopefully we can get through this. But anyways, this is what we're talking about, Neptune. Maybe once you finally, instead of just like da-da-da-da, many times these disagreements are based on misunderstandings. That's what I was trying to get to. So they're based on misunderstandings, and they may be, this could be talk it out and find out, no, I never said that, or that's not what I really meant. And especially when we're doing social media and stuff, because again, everybody knows that you don't have the tone of the voice. And you could say something and somebody's like getting all offended. What did you mean? And it's no, I didn't mean it like that. I meant it like, what are you doing? It's not like, what are you doing? It's like, hey, what are you doing? Inflection is a lot, and that's what's missed out on even with all the emojis and, inflection is missing in texting and social media and stuff. So there can be things misconstrued, definitely. So, secrets could come out too. You could find out secrets. Sometimes when you find out, I'm hearing motives, like what motivates somebody, then you can have a little bit more understanding. You can feel a little bit more, empathy, towards if you've been fighting with somebody, and then here you find out, well, this happened to them, so that's where that's coming from, or that's why they act or behave or feel that way. Then you can be like, oh man, I'm sorry. Like I keep seeing her coming towards it. Hey dude, I'm sorry. I had no idea that's what you went through. But this is really standing out to me. Like she's coming over, and the node could be anything, but she's coming over to the direction we're really meant to be heading in. Because everybody knows we're not meant to be in fighting like this all the time. No, that's not the direction we're meant to be in. The node can also be looked at as the way out, as can the part of fortune. That's the way out of a difficult situation or a way out of struggle. That's where they're saying that's where the love can be found. Yeah, I like that. So go to where the love can be found. I like that whole thing. I might have to write that down. That might be a lyric or something. Let me just old-fashioned grab a napkin. Go to where the love can be found. All right. Sounds good. Yeah, that sounds like a plan, huh? All right, so this full moon itself, let's look at this because there's stuff going on with this too. We've got, of course, the moon at 11 degrees of Aquarius, opposed the sun at 11 Leo. But we got a big T-square in here. It's squaring up with Uranus. Now, back to this whole little astrology school rulership stuff here. Uranus, Aquarius, this is all the same energy. So the ruler of this full moon in Aquarius is the planet of Uranus. And it's tied into this whole thing. But again, it's the squares, it's everything I just said about the squares. Can it bring friction and arguments and stuff? Sure. But can it be used as a, I was going to say a tool for action, but they're saying a catapult. And they're showing me a catapult. It's being like catapulted over a fence. Yeah, so, this could be like barriers that have been up. There's been barriers. We're creating barriers. And then to be catapulted over the fence, over the wall. The brick wall is the way they're showing it to me. Being catapulted like over the wall that guards the castle here. And like this and this both look like little balls that are going to be thrown over the wall here. And walls are, I'm not going to get into Trump's wall. I'm not even thinking about that or talking about that. I'm just thinking about walls are often, signs of, like I was thinking of the Berlin Wall, actually, It was definitely a side of, they were kind of trapped in there, you know. It was a confinement of being captured, and confinement controlled, you know, corralled in or something. You know, that's what I'm thinking of when they, Blimrall, and another one came to mind too, but I totally lost it because I had to right away do the Trump disclaimer, you know, not talking about Trump. Just walls, and you put up a wall. You know, there's an expression, you put up a wall. That means you block somebody out, you don't want to hear it. And, you know, friends against friends, you know, that's been happening. So, something about this, I forgot what I was even talking about, but they were showing me the visual of the catapulting over the wall. Uranus, though, is, and Aquarius, Uranus energy is all about freedom. Being freed from constraints, not being told what to do, wanting to, you know, be a free thinker, be able to expand. It's expansion. It's, they just said it's the universe. It's the universal language is what they're saying. It's the universal language of love. Yeah, the universal language of love. I like that too. But we're going to have a song here by the time we're done, huh? You write that down. The universal language of love. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So, even though it's a square, the positive part about Leo is through fun, laughter, rekindling of childlike things. Children aren't arguing about politics. You know, children aren't arguing about. I mean, there's just anything. Masks. You know, what else are they arguing about? I don't even know. Baseball team names being changed, you know. They're arguing about a lot of different stuff. Kids don't care about that, you know, and that's where the Leo can come in. Here's the thing. The Leo is too young to care about any of that. And then the other side of it is the Aquarian energy is too old and wise to care about any of that. And everything that's going on is all the stuff in the middle is what's going on. You know, it's when you're most emboldened. You know, when you're, you know, a teenager, and in your, you know, when you're maybe in your 20s and even 30s. When you're most emboldened, and I'm right, and I know everything, and I'm unbreakable, I'm fearless, I'm, you know, indestructible. And one of these or the other is probably better, you know. So either be more childlike or be more, you know, wise and ascended beyond it, you know. There's a lot of stuff stuck in the middle right now. We're really stuck in the middle, and as a society, we're really stuck in the middle. We really are, you know, very Aryan planet. You know, I've been doing this channeling stuff. I'm doing this book, and I'm going to probably put some more excerpts up soon. But you know, they're telling us that, you know, like that we're just, we are just. It's scary, you know. It's not. We are very much in the lower vibrations, you know, and I feel like a lot of us that came here to try to help with this transition of Earth, you know, coming from this perspective of this Aquarian higher perspective, you know, that's why it's kind of harsh, you know. It can be kind of harsh. We're not equipped to deal with this stuff, you know. It's like I'm not equipped to deal with these. You know, not just. But just the energy at large, you know, it's very hostile and angry, you know, and it's difficult. But, you know, the thing they keep saying over and over again, for everything, for this transition, they just keep saying, elevate your vibration. That's what you can do. That's the key. And I think that this full moon, well, I was going to say it would bring it forward, but I heard it could be a challenge. Yeah, and it is a challenge. You know, that's what I was just saying. But that'd be a good time to, with all this action-oriented energy, to really direct our action and our, you know, really try and make an effort. It's going to be illuminated. The path will be illuminated. Yeah, that's what they're showing me. Because the full moon illuminates. You know, the universe illuminates our paths all the time. They illuminate our paths for every kind of thing. But we just don't see it, especially when we're caught up in this. So like, driving like in rush hour traffic, aggressive, and thinking, and pissed off, and the universe is popping off all kinds of synchronicities, all left to the left and the right, to the left and to the right. And we're just so, you asshole, you cut me off. You'll never see it. You just don't see it. Because the lower you descend into this cesspool of rage and whatever, the downside of the Mars energy, and Pluto. Pluto is hell, right? Pluto's the underworld. I mean, we're going down to some deep ass holes here, buddies. And then Mars is squaring Jupiter too, which again could be, let's take the high road, let's do the Jupiter thing, let's learn from our experiences. But Jupiter also amplifies. Jupiter's amplifying not only Pluto, but it's squaring directly with the Mars, and it's amplifying that energy. So it's amped up. It's amped up out the ass. That's what I just heard. Wow. Oh, I don't know if that goes with the rest of my song over there. I'm not writing that one down. But anyways, so a path will be enlightened. A doorway will be open. A window will be open. The light will be shined. You got to lift your head up from all this shit in order to see it, but it will be shown. It will be shown S-H-O-W-N, and it also will be shown S-H-O-N-E. The light will be shown, baby. And then you can use this Aries, trailblazing energy to trailblaze your way right out of this mess, right into a new way of thinking, of seeing things from a higher perspective. That's true with the this and the Neptune. A lot of times when you have a lot of anger towards somebody, I've been there definitely. And then you find out that, wow, that's, and then you say, wow, that's why they behave like that, and then you can have a little compassion, But also with the Neptune, that you don't want to let them just milk it for all it's worth, Sometimes that can be, and Chiron can be that way too. You're going to milk it for all there's worth. Sometimes, not sometimes, all the time, you got to let it go. And then instead of like, we get in our head and like say you're really pissed at somebody, I hope that I wish it would happen to them, then they would know, instead of that way, you could send them healing too. Boy, I wish that they could really heal and transmute that pain and suffering, and send them sending somebody that kind of vibe is going to do a whole lot more good to make your life better and your relationships better than wishing that something horrible happens to them. Or that just sucks. Like there's like the toilet, whatever that is, like a toilet, whatever that is, not a whirlpool, but we're just seeing just sucked right down. The minute you jump on that, you jump on that path, you're sucked back in, and it doesn't, and it's not like don't beat yourself up about it. We all do that. We all fall there, but when you try to go here, you do it less and less and less. I don't think anybody walking the earth never gets pissed off or never gets irritated, But, the point is not to just stay. You don't have to stay there. You don't ever have to stay in any kind of energy. And if you get sucked down into a bunch of anger and resentment or whatever, Mars, it gives you that strength. If you turn it around, let's use that Mars energy for a positive. It gives you the strength to pull yourself out of it. To be there. They keep showing me like, actually what I'm seeing is like a ring of fire, but it's not, it might be, I'm saying the words ring of fire, hope nothing happens, the volcanoes in the ring of fire. But the way I'm seeing it is like in the old days, like in the circus, like there's a ring of fire and the animals, different animals, tigers or horses would jump through it or whatever. That's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm being shown. And it definitely feels like it's like a portal. you know. It's a portal to another dimension, a portal to, but that's what when I see this Aries, you know, it's like, if first they show me like that, and I hear the sound effects, so like it's getting sucked down the drain like a tornado or a toilet, you know. And then I see this, the way out is like jumping through this hoop or this ring of fire here. And then of course now I'm hearing the Johnny Cash about the ring of fire. We have to look that up later. He went down, down, down. I know that's part of it, into the ring of fire. But anyways, yeah, a lot going on, a lot of squares. It can be really a challenge to go there. I think the full moon in Aquarius, if used properly, you know, take advantage of it, because a lot of us are cracking under the pressure. It is getting well. It's like when the more that the guides put it to me this way: the more that we enlighten and our light shines, then there has to be this counterpart. You know, the harder the dark, or the, you know, fights to stay, to bait, you know, to fight off the light. It's like it has to get equal. And they keep referring to a tipping point. And I guess that's, again, something close to like the 100th monkey, you know. When the tipping point comes, that more and more people are awakening, and more people are using techniques like this, you know, to get in this higher vibration, then it's going to be too overwhelming, you know. Then this isn't going to prevail. The darker side, or the shadow side, will prevail less and less, and lose its strength. You know, it's going to really lose its strength. It could lose its strength. But they're talking, you know, it's not like, oh, it's the full moon in Aquarius. Okay, everybody, here we go. You know, and everything just changes. It's going to be an ongoing process for a little while. This isn't anything that's going to be resolved, you know, tomorrow. It's an ongoing process, and it's been coming for a long time. And just raise your vibration, be in the light. You know, I might put my next excerpts. I was going to make an excerpts video from that book. I might just put together some of those passages about raising vibration and stuff like that. We'll see. We'll see if I can get some time to do it. But anyway, so here it is, everybody. Here is the full moon in Aquarius. It's a doozy. It's a doozy, everybody. The guides are definitely around. When I start saying stuff like it's a doozy, we know that's not coming from me. So let's wrap it up. I want to wish everybody the best. Remember, you are love and beauty incarnate. No special reading offers now, but I do have some, you know, regular readings, and I do have the soul reading, which looks at like your past lives and the karma. If you're interested in astrology readings, that's the one I'm offering. Next month in August, I'll announce we'll be doing the next ingress reading, which is going to be the Libra, you know, because those are big turning points always, and the seasonal astrology transit readings that I do for you. Anywho, thanks so much for tuning in. Try to find, you know, that light is there. It's being shown. Let's pull ourselves out of this mess and, you know, try more and more to get over here. That's what they're saying. And lead with love. That's another thing that they said. Oh, that's got to go on the notes over here. Lead with love. Yeah, I like that too. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great one. Remember, you're love and beauty incarnate. Till next time. Bye.